What should I eat after a training session? Eat what you want to eat. I honestly can't tell you that if you eat a specific meal that it's going to do wonders for you. And I can't tell you that if you don't eat a meal that it's going to have the best effects on you. Now, I'm also not telling you to go out and eat fried chicken or a Philly cheesesteak or this big old pasta bowl. I'm not telling you to do that because honestly, the key here is to eat a well-balanced diet. Now, according to the CDC and the Dietary Guidelines of Americans 2015-2020, a balanced diet includes your fruits, it includes your whole grains, it includes your meats, and it even includes your fats, which is hopefully low in saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol. And it's also important to keep in mind your salt. Now, another take from this is your calories. I know everybody wants to know that if you eat this particular diet, no matter the calories, it's going to do wonders. But one of the most important factors in training and in a healthy lifestyle is your calories. So keep in mind your calorie intake. You don't want to take in too much. You don't want to take in too little. But also keep in mind that everybody's different. And you cannot say that as such and such is taking in this many calories, I should be taking in this many calories. It's all goal oriented. It's all based on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. And it's not for me to tell you that this is the best one for you. Now, as far as what necessarily should you eat, like I said, I can't tell you what you should eat, but I can tell you what the studies have found. The studies have found that carbohydrates are not the enemy necessarily. They're not the enemy, and it's all based on perspective. But no, according to Bishop Jones and Woods 2008, carbohydrate-rich beverages can aid in glycogen recovery. So pretty much the energy that you lose can be recovered through carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are what is needed for your glycogen storage. Now, according to Aragon and Schoenfeld, 2010, 80% of your ATP, or in other words, your energy, is derived from glycogen storage. So for people who are trying to cut out carbs all the way, or they're just not eating them at all, then it may be hard for them to get those energies, and they're going to have to tap in another energy source in order to get to that point. Now, if you do have too low of a glycogen storage, or if you're running low, if your levels are just really low in general, you may experience hypoglycemia, and that may show as severe fatigue or almost complete loss of energy, which can be very scary and very dangerous. And that's all according to Bishop Jones and Woods 2008. So carbs are not necessarily the enemy, and they are important towards the energy factor when it comes to training, especially if you're doing a high intensity training. It's important to think about where your energy is coming from and thinking about the meals that you're intaking. Like I said, I can't tell you that if you cut them out that is going to do wonders for you, and I can't tell you if you don't take them out that they're going to, do great things. But I can tell you that the studies have shown that a lot of your energy is derived from those glycogen storages, which are obtained from carbohydrate intake. Now, I know you people hear a lot about protein. I have a lot of friends who are bodybuilders, who are athletes, and protein is life pretty much to them. They're going to eat their big old chicken, and they're going to drink their protein shakes like 3-4 times a day. And I may be over exaggerating, but protein is pretty much what you're going to hear a lot about in the fitness world. And talking to you, trying to explain to you what's the best thing to eat after a training session, protein is going to come up. You're going to hear about protein. And this is due to the fact that when you are training, especially resistance training, your muscles are becoming damaged. They're tearing. And that's not saying like you have a severe bicep tear and now you cannot curl your arm. It's pretty much saying that your muscles have to pretty much tear apart a little bit to become new. So they have to get old to be new, if that makes sense. with the protein, according to Aragon Schoenfeld, that consuming protein post-workout is thought to increase muscle protein synthesis. Like I said, during training, they can kind of tear and they can stretch and stuff. And then when you add in the protein, it's like adding in some kind of special substance that's going to be like, yeah, we're going to start growing again. We have those special amino acids that are in there, and that we can build on that. We're going to take that in and we're going to grow and become a bigger, stronger muscle. And now this is according to Aragon and Schoenfeld. Now, can't tell you, there's still studies that needs to be done, and there are still studies that are being done to determine if protein is going to help in muscle growth. But I can tell you protein is part of the balanced diet that can aid in recovery of the muscles after training, along with the carbohydrates, which aids in the recovery of your glycogen storage, which is, they all in general can aid in energy and energy improvement after a training session. So with all of that being said, the key takeaway is eat a well-balanced meal. After training sessions, think about what you're eating. Like I said, with fats is another energy source, and be mindful of what you eat. Be mindful of what kind of fats you're taking in. And I can't go too much into fats because I still need to do a little bit more research on them. But I'm telling you what the studies that I have said, and go home and eat your balanced meal. Go home and have fun, and maybe eat you a chicken breast or something with a sweet potato, your complex carbs and all that. But pretty much eat what you want to eat within reason. Be mindful of what you're eating, mindful thinking at all times when it comes to fitness, health, and well-being in general. So that is my spiel on what you should eat after you work out. Now, hope you listen to that and you learned something from it. And I did, doing a lot of research on it. So, bye.